Would you like to ask any question?
Master, and can I ask you something very personal?
Okay.
At what time do you go up in the morning for meditation?
Then,
I will try also to do meditation with you.
me,
Yes, at the same time.
when I'm snoring, you may be sitting in meditation.
You don't snore.
Only my labor can tell, I don't know. Meditation should always be done all alone, unconscious of anybody's presence around you.
It's not like this. You know, now I'm here in India, it's better. When you go up in the morning for meditation, I shall also go up at the same time. When I'm at home and I can't sleep at night, I can think, oh, Master is now on meditation and I can also meditate.
Good. You should meditate. That's right.
Thank you. Radha Swami.
Maharaji,
Yes.
during the first part of meditation, we have Simran to bring our mind back when it gets scattered. Shortly after I start to do bhajan, my mind scatters. What can I do to occupy that faculty to think?
I think these both faculties should be focused at the eye center to be in touch with the sound within. At that time, you should not do any Simran or think about anything else at all. Unless the concentration is there, you will not be able to hear the sound.
When the mind wants to go out during bhajan,
That is the habit of the mind.
what can I do to bring it back since not to do Simran?
Give it more time to Simran and Dhyan.
Maharaji, in Spiritual Gems, Great Master said that what is required in this path is simplicity of mind, faith, and love. Could you please speak a little more on those three qualities and how we can...
Which quality you want to understand? Simplicity is a very simple word. Love, understand, you know what is love.
I think the one that I need to hear the most on is faith, especially at the stage in our spiritual progress before we've achieved that stability in our meditation, that faith must be something that...
Sister, conviction creates faith. Conviction creates faith. Faith creates effort. Without conviction, there can be no faith. And without faith, there can be no effort. Ultimately, it's the effort that counts. But effort has to be based on faith. And faith can only be built if you are convinced that what you are right is, that is the right path. So that is why I always advise to the seekers that they should make a thorough search before following any path. Read as much as they can. Ask any question. No, they should not feel shy about them. Write any number of letters. Discuss with people. Resolve their all doubts. And feel convinced about the philosophy. And then you should try to follow the path.
Thank you.
Maharaji, could you explain to me what is meant by the lotus feet of the Master?
Just the feet. Actually, lotus feet of the Master doesn't mean actually the feet of the Master. It is more or less the radiant form of the Master. It's a way to express in humility. You say we want to give our obeisance to the feet of the Master because this is the lowest portion of the body. So this is just in humility. Actually, it means the radiant form of the Master.
Maharaji, I have two questions and a request. The question is a little strange one. Just before I came here, my mother died, and we gave her a funeral because she was a religious woman. And I asked the rabbi what happens under her religion, what happens to the soul after when the person dies. And he says that it hovers around the grave until the name is inscribed on the tombstone and some prayers are said. Now, she wasn't an initiate, but she did know about the path. Now, is that true, what he said? I mean, is that what happens to people?
How much you have read Sanskrit?
Quite a bit.
Then still you are asking such questions.
But I mean, is that for people who are not initiated? It is the same?
It's not a question of initiated or not initiated. How can the spirit hover around the grave?
That's good. I didn't think so.
You mean to think the spirit wants to come back into their body again?
No.
Then?
Okay, good. I didn't think so, but I really wanted to hear you say it. Okay, then another
We are
question.
the superstitious. You see, the priest always wants to create such superstitions because otherwise nobody will bother about them. How will they live? Who will fill their pockets unless these rituals are there?
Okay, another thing, a question that I have. She was sick for about 4 months before she died, and I was in a different city from where I usually live, and I got to see the other side of the picture. And I was in hospitals, and there were people, very sick, very old. It was really terrible. But what happened to me was instead of turning to the Lord, I seemed to turn more. I mean, all that mattered to me was that I could do what I had to do and keep healthy and keep my balance. But I couldn't meditate at all. I mean, I'd wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and turn on the television set or make a phone call. And, it wasn't until about a month ago, and I said, oh my God, I have to go to India. I mean, that was it. I just had to come here. But why does that happen? I mean, it was like, that's when I needed Santmat most, and it just didn't seem to be there.
Santmat was with you. You were not with Santmat.
That's right.
Santmat was always there with you. But you may not be with Santmat. So you should always try to stay with Santmat.
But why did it, when I'm at home, I have satsang twice a week, and all my friends are satsangis, my doctors. But there was nobody except the long-distance telephone calls. And is it the atmosphere? I mean, why did it happen then? I mean, and it doesn't happen.
I think you should be able to analyze much better than anybody else. Why did you let it happen to you? You can analyze better. Yes.
Master, when the majority of our heavier karmas have been paid and only lighter karmas remain, will we be given by the Lord better circumstances and environments
Sister,
for meditation?
which is a heavy karma and which is a light karma?
I don't know.
Then how do you differentiate them?
Well,
Every karma is heavy, which is tied, which is keeping us tied down to this creation. Every karma is heavy. As long as the soul is separated from the Father, even a little weight over the soul, which is in its way, is heavy for the soul.
Yes. It just seems like the heavy karmas that cause stress in our
As I
life.
gave an example the other day, needle is always anxious to go back to the magnet. It is being attracted by the magnet. Whether it is a little stone over the needle or is a big boulder over the needle, but needle, there is a weight on the needle which doesn't let it go back to the magnet. So even a little stone is heavy for the needle, even a big boulder is heavy for the needle, as long as it is separated from the magnet. So all load has to be eliminated from the needle before it can go back to the magnet.
Thank you, Master.
Yes.
Maharaji, recently I went to visit a satsangi in the hospital. He's very old, and he's been living in hospitals and nursing homes for several years with minimal contact with satsangis. And at one point during the visit, I repeated the names to him out loud. And he said that at one time they had been very familiar to him, but they seem very foreign to him now. And he said that he spends his whole day in bed. He can't get out of bed. He lies there and he repeats prayers and hymns, and he remembers your face. He remembers you very well. He asked me if it was acceptable to be repeating these hymns, these prayers, instead of repeating the 5 holy names.
It is better if he attends to Simran.
Thank you.
Maharaji, over here.
Yes.
I have a question that has to do with yielding. It seems that if there are two friends or a married couple and those people have a disagreement, even if the party is right, the person who thinks they're right, it seems not to benefit the disagreement that they have to the person who feels that they're right. What I'm trying to say is it seems like it's better sometimes, even though when you think you're right, to yield and say that you're wrong, to kind of save the friendship. Can you please speak about yielding?
Brother, does anybody think he's wrong?
No.
We have all sorts of justification that we are right. Other person is absolutely in the wrong. Who's to sit on judgment, who's right and who's wrong? So we have to know ourselves where we stand. This depends upon the individual situation. You see, you can't generalize these things. Life is give and take. One has to lose something to gain more. Sometimes gaining more, we lose all what we have. So life goes like that.
The second question has a little bit to do with what you're just saying about losing and gaining. A lot of times we think, or I think that I'm owed something, that I worked hard for something and I should get it. But when I look back at my life, if I were to have gotten what I wanted, I don't know that I would be here today. What is it that I can do, or anybody in that situation, to better accept when you get things that you don't want, or when things don't go your way?
Brother, we always pray for those things which not are in our destiny. What is in our destiny will automatically come to us. But we are more anxious to get what the Lord has not written in our destiny. Then we feel frustrated. Why not leave everything to Him? Let Him give whatever He thinks best. And we should just go through it.
Okay. One last question. We're all here at the feet of the living Master, and there are many people who haven't had the privilege to come here. And oftentimes when we go back, our brothers and sisters, they feel, I don't know, a little funny or something that we got a chance to go and that they were left behind. And even being here, it feels as though, even though you can be physically close to Master, if your heart is not really with Master and you haven't, I don't know, done your meditation properly, you're not as close as some people who have never seen Master. Could you say something about being close to Master?
Brother, our Master is always with us. Whether we are near our Master or not, but our Master is always with us. He never forsakes us. And everybody is very dear and near to the Master, whether they have been here or whether they have not been able to come. But they are all very near their Master.
Thank you.
And I had one question.
Please.
It's from Sarbachan, number 60. Part of it, it says, you can't do both. If you wish to carry on with Guru Bhakti, you will have to break with the world. And if you go with the world, your Bhakti will not be perfect. Can you explain how this...
You see, you can't have all the pleasures of the world and also the love and devotion of the Father. You have to sacrifice something of the world in order to go back to the Father. You can't enjoy both. You can't say, I love the creation also, I love the Lord also. Mind is same. Whether you put it downward, outward, or inward, upward. Mind is same.
It seems like just aside from enjoyment, just duties alone, responsibilities to relatives and family.
I never say don't do the duties or responsibilities.
It seems to take up the entire day.
I say pleasures. So you can't have sensual players in the world. You have to discharge your responsibilities and duties. So you can't attach yourself to the world also and attach yourself to the Father also. A manager also comes and does his job in a firm. The owner also comes and works in that firm. The difference in both of their working. Manager is not concerned whether there is a loss or a profit, and anything happens in the factory. Owner always have heartbeats. Anything happens in the factory. Owner thinks this belongs to him. All the money which will be in profit will belong to him. And manager only is concerned with his pay and work, duty. He has done his duty, he has earned his job, and he will be paid for it. But the owner has a different concept of his work. So we should think as a part of duty and not get involved with them by living with them. We should not be obsessed by them. Otherwise, even if we try to run away from the world, where can we hide? The world is still there. Necessities of life will still follow us everywhere. All what we need is food, clothing, and a shelter. And that you cannot escape even if you go to the remotest corner of the Himalaya. You need all these three things. So what have you left? Just self-deception that I left home, I left everything. We leave nothing. We may have to beg for food. We may have to depend upon people's charity. We may become parasite on the society. We may change these beautiful clothes, may have rough ones or colored ones, colored robes, but still you need a cloth to cover yourself. You may not have a palace on your head. You may have some hut, but still you need something on your head, some roof on your head. So you have not left anything at all. Necessities of life you do need. So why not have that type of living even at home?
Thank you.
Master, I would like to ask a question about the inconstancy of meditation. The other evening, a sister asked you or talked about a problem that I think most of us have, and that is sometimes you can do your meditation fully, and sometimes an hour, and sometimes you struggle 4 or 5 minutes. And you said that when we have a big problem with it, we're passing through dark clouds of karma. And my question is, do we pass through dark clouds of karma on a conscious and an unconscious level? I mean, are there some times when we're going through dark clouds of karma that we're not aware of?
Mostly we are not aware of. Sometimes we are aware of, in a sense, we are encircled with some problem in life. We're struggling for something to decide in this very life.
Right.
So mind is so scattered, it doesn't attend to meditation. It rebels from meditation. We become frustrated in some way. We don't get what we want to get.
Right.
This is very, visible. Sometimes, mostly we are unconscious of those karmas.
So then it's not all mind being able to make the choice. I mean, I always thought that it's just a battle with the mind, and if you're not making the choice to do it, then you're turning away from the Master, and if you're making the choice, then... But I just thought it was all mind.
Who is making the choice? It's mind. That is also mind. And struggle is also with the mind.
I see. So even when the dark clouds are going, Because sometimes you can be in a very good state
Yes.
of mind
Yes.
and you still have the struggle. And then you can be going through what we sometimes label as dark clouds of karma.
Sister,
and you can...
Sister, it's experience of everybody. Sometime we get some inner happiness without any rhyme and reason.
Right.
We become so light, so happy within ourselves. We don't know what is the reason, what is the cause. But we are so happy. Sometimes we feel so depressed. You try to analyze it, you cannot analyze what can be the cause. You look around, there's nothing which should bother you.
Mm-hmm.
But still we are unhappy. It's all due to our past karmas.
So that's the unconscious level.
Yes. Yes.
I say thank you, Master Radhaswami.
Maharaji, I have to read my question, I'm shaking. When we have deep subconscious desires, and because these desires cannot be fulfilled due to our karmas, and they are therefore suppressed, will these desires, even though we know they are foolish, have to be fulfilled in future lives before we can reach such kind, no matter how much love we may have for the Master?
Sister, it is not essential that all desires have to be fulfilled. Desires can fade out also. With the help of meditation, desires can fade out.
They can just fade away.
They just fade away. They become meaningless to us at a certain stage.
Why do these thoughts make us so frightened? I feel very frightened about all that.
About what?
About having to come back again to fulfill these suppressed desires.
No, you should not think from that point of view. You should just attend to meditation and they automatically fade out. We must have a positive approach.
Thank you.
Raji, yesterday you spoke about the soul being able to divide. We were talking about plants and you said the soul can divide into many. If a soul, having reached a human level of consciousness, divides, are those level of consciousness and that soul divides?
What do you mean soul is divided somewhere inside?
Well, I was thinking in the situation of identical twins or cloning.
No question of dividing the soul inside at all.
So it's different to plants?
Different with plants, you see.
Okay. And then we were also talking about incarnating souls. I'm interested to know when a soul is incarnating into the human form, when does it forget its previous consciousness and become...
The moment you take birth, you forget the past.
At the time of birth?
Yes.
Yes. And then I just have a dilemma that sometimes occurs. For example, in Hatha Yoga, the teacher says something like, breathe in down your spine or put your attention in the solar plexus and imagine a color or something. Should a satsangi ignore that and just stay at the eye center?
See, this Hatha Yoga is good for health.
Yes.
There's no harm in doing it. But if you think that you will get spiritually gain by it, I don't think you'll gain any by it.
But does it matter to us if we do such things in the exercises, or should we just do the Simran and stay at the eye center?
That is for an individual to decide. We do all sorts of exercises to keep our body fit. And if you do few Hatha Yoga exercises, there's no harm in it. But if you do it for spiritual benefit, spiritual transport within, that concept is wrong.
But it's not wrong to bring the attention down into the body, or should we not do that?
There is no advantage of it. Rather, it can be the reverse.
Right.
We should try to put our attention upward rather than downward. When you are sitting in the middle of a hill, what is the sense of coming first down, then going up? From here, we try to bring our attention down. Then we try to pull the attention upward. Why bring it down first?
Then in the same light, the satsangis seem to talk a lot about cleansing the body and cleansing the mind. Is it necessary to do that, or can we just abandon them?
That is entirely individual concern, how he wants to keep fit.
No, I'm talking about having the cup clean so that the Shabbat can come in.
No,
Is that just the
is
soul?
mind. Mind is to be clean, not the body.
Right.
Cup is to be filled is cup of mind. Just by taking a purgative, you don't make your body clean. Mind is to be cleaned.
But mind seems to be stuck in places throughout the body wherever we store up and
Mind being here is supplied to the whole creation. Mind is to be still. Mind is to be cleaned.
So can there be a point where you just forget about the past if you can still the mind, all the old dirt that's in it?
Why are you analyzing about the old dirt and all?
Because I'm not really too bothered to clean the mind. I'd rather just go, not work.
The main thing is to clean your mind. You just concentrate and be in touch with the Shabbat. Shabbat itself will clean your mind. No matter how much rust is on the knife, if you rub it against the Shabbat, it will definitely clean it. Instead of worrying about the rust, you should worry to rub it against the sandstone.
Maharaji, is the results of this life's meditation solely based upon our efforts in this life, or does it also have to do with sanskars from previous lives?
Brother, it has a lot to do with the sanskara of the past life, because our progress depends upon the birth where we have taken, in what atmosphere we have taken the birth, and what environments we have been brought up, what facilities we get for meditation. That all goes along with our birth. What type of friends we have got in our life, what type of company we have been able to get. They all influence us towards meditation. And all these things come to us due to our past sanskaras.
So then, even our experiences in meditation regarding whatever the Master wishes to give us, regardless of light, sound, or bliss, that could also be ascribed to.
Even your meeting to the Master is also destined. That is also due to your past sanskaras. That is because the Lord has marked us. So we'll be automatically be driven to the company of the Master. Will automatically be pulled. That is also due to past sanskaras.
Beloved Master, this is my first time coming to India, and it is also the first time I see you. Although I know that the best way to be with you is at thy center, my feeling is that my meditation has been rather favorably affected by the fact of being here and seeing you, and also my relationship with you as a disciple also has been deepened. Is this normal, or shouldn't I pay attention to that?
Attention to what?
To this feeling I have that my meditation has been...
Sister, relationship of the disciple with the Master is an individual relationship. It is not a group relationship. It is an individual relationship. Everybody thinks he is my Master and I am the disciple. He is unconscious about other disciples. He is unconscious about anybody else except his own Master. So this relationship is absolutely individual for everyone.
Yes, but I feel that it has improved once I saw you.
You see,
and I am here.
This depth is within every one of us. Question is how much we let it grow. Seed is there. Now it has to grow. That is why Christ gave an example that unless you take new birth, you cannot go back to the kingdom of God. Because after the new birth, child starts growing to become a man, full-fledged man. So similarly, after initiation, that is our new birth. And we start spiritually growing unless we merge back into the Father. That is taking new birth, and that is growing to become one with Him.
And does the fact of seeing you make any difference in that improvement?
That depends upon individuals. This is all individual experiences. You can't generalize these things.
Maharaji, like everyone else, my greatest desire is to reach the eye centers and to contact the inner master. I'd like to have a deeper understanding of what would be required of me to really have that happen in this birth.
Brother, there's nothing new which I can tell you. I can only remind you the same thing again and again. One has to be steadfast on the principles of Santmat. Foundation must be very, very strong, and built over that your meditation. That's all what is required.
I've heard that, for example, Great Master had said that it would take a number of hours, or that 2.5 hours was not enough to tip
Don't
the
worry
balance.
about great masters' examples. It depends upon the individual circumstances, individual pull. You can't fix time for meditation. You see, when the pull is so great, it automatically will make you sit in meditation. It is not a mechanical, I have given 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, and that is, if I give so many hours, I'll make so much progress, I'll clear so many karmas. There is no mathematical calculation. The pull which is within us, that is automatically will make you sit in meditation. Automatically will increase your time, your devotion, your thoughts towards the Father.
This meditation is a training or retraining of the mind to eventually lose oneself in the thoughts of the Master, to turn it away from the world.
It's a rehearsal to die every day. It's a training of the mind to create the tendency of the mind towards inward and upward.
So one shouldn't concern whether he's actually reached the eye center or if he's...
Well, one does get the result too, but we shouldn't feel much concerned about it.
But it's a constant fight to train the mind away from the world.
Yes, constant knocking at the door.
And this knocking at the door, is the process of knocking at the door only when you've reached the eye center, or also before?
No, whatever little time we give to meditation is knocking at the door. You see, when a child takes birth, he has to pass so many phases before he learns to walk and run. So when we come on the path, we have to go through so many phases before we start making spiritual progress within. Child doesn't start running after the birth.
And this love
So this is also a new birth. So we have to pass through so many phases.
You said that one cannot get a PhD after death if he hadn't accomplished it in this life.
Yes. If you have been absolutely ignoring your meditation, don't attend to it, then you can't expect that you'll go back to Father. If you have trained your mind towards meditation, your tendency has become inward and upward. Where will you go? Inward and upward.
So in the struggle, whether we feel the love and devotion or not, that isn't part of our responsibility. That's coming from
Brother, how we weigh our love and devotion. We are so anxious and so conscious how much love I have, how much devotion I have, which is that scale by which we weigh that love and devotion.
The scale I've been using is how much meditation I've been doing.
You see, we try to have the scale looking to other people. He has more love, he has more devotion. I lack that much faith, lack that much devotion which the other person has. It's the wrong thing to do it. I'm only concerned with myself, I'm not concerned with others. It's just a comparative world. But for the love and devotion within, we won't feel like meditating even. There is something with us which is pulling us towards meditation. And what is that? Nothing but love and devotion for the Father. Now we have to help it to grow.
Is that that effort in our hands?
Well, there are so many circumstances. Effort we have to put, but facilities, environments, and atmosphere he has to create. Then we also put an effort. And he gives us opportunity, he gives us that atmosphere, give us that environment, give us that pull. Then we definitely put the effort too. Ultimately, it's entirely in his hand. Without his grace, we can't do anything. And we should do our best, then leave it to him.
I have a question from Spiritual Gems, letter 194.
Just come near the mic. Yes.
Question from Spiritual Gems, letter number 194. It says in the end of the letter, if someone offers anything within, it is not to be accepted, whether in dream or in exercise. And often I heard that in dreams we don't create any...
You see, this is an expression actually which is wrongly translated to English. Mean in no way you should accept. We often say in Punjabi language, supne vich bhi accept कोई चीज नहीं लेनी. मतलब है in under no circumstances you have to accept any gift within yourself in progress. There's something wrong in the translation. In dreams you don't have any control over it. Dreams are no reality. And nothing is in your hand. These letters are translated from Maharaji's local language and translated into English. So sometimes they are literally translated. So wrongly misunderstood.
What does it mean anyway to accept anything?
You write to me about this letter. I'll see that it is corrected.
Well, can I ask one more question?
Yes.
It's about this. What does it mean to receive anything within anyway, even not in a dream?
No. It is talking about the inside.
Yes.
But inside, to accept your master, you should not give any attention to anybody. Question of accepting anything from anyone doesn't arise. You should not even give your attention to any entity.
But it's frightening. It means that if you do go astray and you give attention to something else, it might get into getting things and going really astray.
You do Simran, the entity automatically will disappear.
And if you're too weak and you don't do it? And if you're too weak and you don't do it, like outside in the world, you're weak and you don't do the things you want to do.
No. Why you are too weak? You have certain strength, certain support, certain backing with you. Why should you feel frightened? Nothing can harm you inside.
Thank you.
Recently, some books have come into my possession about the astral world, and I find them very fascinating to read. But I feel I'm not sure if I should read them because I think the Master protects the soul on the inner journey from seeing those astral things, and I just wondered if it's all right to read those sorts of books that describe inner life.
That is for you to decide.
I have to decide?
Yes. When I have not read it, how can I tell you the right or wrong?
Well, so long as I can look at them detached and see that they're not accurate, then I guess it's all right. That they seem to be wrong in some ways.
Anyway,
read them for entertainment.
You have to make up your mind.
Oh, that's hard. Thank you, Radha Swami.
Maharaji, when I was here in 1986, I mentioned to you...
Your mic doesn't work?
Okay? I'm sorry. When I was here in 1986, I mentioned to you that I felt like punching a few satsangis in the nose. And I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but ever since then I've had some pretty severe pain and suffering. And so I thought this trip, it would be a good idea to mention to you that I've turned over a new leaf and I don't feel like punching anybody. And I think I'm starting to love everybody.
Have you been able to punch anybody till yet?
No, sir.
It was only in mind.
Yes.
And now it has gone out of your mind?
It is out of my mind.
Now you want to love them?
Yes.
Very good thing.
There's one other thing, if I could ask you.
Yes, please.
It's about meditation. Several years ago, a long time ago, you wrote to me that we're not only to hear the sound and to see the light, but to visit the many regions within our body while living. And you said Satmat makes no promises after death. Well, I'm getting a little worried because I'm getting pretty old. And I'm thinking, you said visit the many regions, and I don't know exactly how long that's going to take. And it seems to me that my meditation, the more I meditate, the harder it gets. And
Sister, there is no more malice in your heart now.
No.
Because your idea of punching other has been gone.
Yes.
So one has to attend to meditation with love and devotion. Where there is love and devotion, there is no punching. So attend to your meditation with love and devotion.
And I don't have to worry about
Then you don't have to worry at all.
anything.
You know, Christ said in the New Testament, if you are going to a synagogue to pray, and in the way you think, or to give any gift at the altar, in the way you think you have offended somebody, you have hurt somebody, first go and apologize to that man. Otherwise your gift will not be accepted by the Lord. We cannot pray to Him with a closed mind. Mind must be receptive for His grace. If the cup is upside down, where will the rainwater come? Mind must be very receptive to His grace. If we have malice against people, we are full with hatred against people, we have a spirit of revenge within us, we are fighting with ourselves to let them down on every occasion, at every step, how can that mind attend to any meditation? It will give us no result at all. All these things have to be wiped out from the mind. And we have just to give full attention to meditation. By love and devotion mean mind has to be made receptive to His grace. In love we are always receptive to the beloved. Love makes us receptive. Love makes us accept what the beloved wants to give us, whether good or bad. Love always prepares us to accept. So in meditation we accept from the Lord whatever He has in store for us. So we attend to meditation with love and devotion, not with a closed mind.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Master, how can we forgive ourselves?
Forgive ourselves. In what way you want to forgive yourself? What is your concept of forgiving? Be open with your question. What wrong you have done to yourself?
Sometimes I'm blind. Then that's all the time.
It means, you see, in ignorance, we do so many karmas. We commit so many sins, so many follies. That's what you mean.
Yes.
And only way to seek forgiveness of the Lord is to attend to meditation. The meditation is nothing but seeking the forgiveness of the Lord. Whatever stands between us and the Father, whatever we have built between us and the Father, that is what Christ said, repent, kingdom of God is within you. That is repenting. Meditation is nothing but repenting for the past karmas. Meditation will make us forgive, seek His forgiveness.
Master, I would like to follow up my question from the other day about the workings of the mind. You said that the mind can split and go in different directions simultaneously.
It can project in many forms, in
Yes.
many directions.
Yes.
It can run in many directions.
Can it also split in such a way that one part is asleep and the other is awake?
Well, sometimes you are half asleep and half awake. You are conscious that you are semi-sleep. Sometimes you are absolutely deep sleep you are enjoying. And even in the sleep, mind projects in many forms. So many dreams, so many faces, so many directions it runs about. Even in sleep it's not with us.
No, but in sleep does the mind also split and go in different directions simultaneously?
It's not a question of split, it projects. I never said it splits. Mind is the same. It projects in many forms. It runs in many directions at the same time.
Mhm. And is it possible that the life current withdraws to the eye center, or partly to the eye center, with the eyes open?
You see, whether you close your eyes or whether you open your eyes, it makes no difference at all. That audible life stream is always there at the eye center. We close our eyes so that our attention may not scatter outside. Closing of eyes nothing to do with the sound. Sound is always there at the eye center. You can hear it even with your eyes open. But the problem with the eyes open is we all start looking right and left and here and there. So attention runs out. So we have to be attentive to that light. Concentrate on that point to see that light. So it becomes easier for us to concentrate when we close the eyes.
Is it possible that the consciousness withdraws when not being in meditation?
Sometimes you are so much absorbed in your own thoughts that you don't know who has come to your room, who has gone away, who has kept your tea, who has brought your lunch. You are sitting in a chair, you are so absorbed in your own thoughts that you are absolutely unconcerned, unconscious of anybody having come and gone in the room. That is why you are not sitting in meditation.
No.
But you are so much absorbed in that thinking that all other thinking has been eliminated. So your whole consciousness is involved in that thinking, in that process of thought. That is also concentration.
It's concentration, but I wonder, sometimes it happens when I'm reading.
It often happens, because in reading you have to concentrate. When you try to concentrate, sometime in reading, you will start whistling sound in your ears. Because we become quite attentive in reading, sometimes we start hearing the Shabad.
Yes.
So it's better to leave the reading and start hearing the Shabad.
Yeah. And Master, I have a question about Dhyan.
Yes.
Ever since the beginning, I had great difficulties with Dhyan. Either I would forget about Simran, or I would do Simran and forget about Dhyan. It seemed that I'm just not able to do two things at a time. So I tried.
Sister, you can do separate also, but it's better if you do simultaneously, because both faculties have to be occupied at the same time. Otherwise, your concentration doesn't become complete.
Then I wonder what is why am I not able to do that? Why am I not able to do two things, at least two things at a time?
Actually, dhyan comes with love. Realizing the form of the Master is not so easy. It automatically comes with the intense love for the Master. Because people we love, they are always moving about before us. I can't get rid of them.
What I'm doing now, and I wonder whether that is all right. I start with Simran only, and I try to catch the atmosphere of Simran, or the power that is behind it.
How can you catch that?
I don't know. I just try.
No, it's just a self-reception. You just do Simran, keeping your attention in the darkness here. Forget about dhyan. Just be in the darkness. Just be there and do Simran. And don't think anything else at all.
Yeah. Well, usually dhyan comes later on by itself when I start just with Simran. But then I was reading Light on Sant Mat, and I was coming across two passages, and in one letter you say that dhyan should be resorted to at the eye focus when Simran has reached a certain stage. And the other passage says we are to do three things not simultaneously, but one at a time. And it says, dhyan, this may be done for about 15 minutes, then the Simran should be started.
Dhyan here means you see that you think about the Master and sit in meditation. Here dhyan doesn't mean the contemplating on the form of the Master.
Oh, just thinking.
Thinking about the Master and then sit in the meditation. These are individual letters for individual persons, keeping in view their letters before us, whom we reply. Because it's only answer, not their questions, not their problems there.
Does that mean that there are different ways of doing dhyan?
No, there's no other way. As I told you, you can call it one way, you can call it different way. You can keep your attention in the darkness and do Simran. You can visualize the form of the Master, do Simran. You feel your Masters at the eye center, do Simran. They are all one and same thing.
Is it all right also to just wait and do Simran?
What do you mean by wait?
Well, just wait until the Master comes, until dhyan comes.
I say keep your attention in the darkness here and do Simran.
Yeah.
That itself is a dhyan. Real dhyan is when you see the radiant form of the Master within, or when you see the light within. That automatically catches your attention, doesn't let your attention go anywhere out. That is real dhyan.
Thank you.
Well, like I said last time, I'm very grateful because in my first letter, in my initiation, I asked for help to come see you. And my ask come true. And the patience and devotion what I see with my Master, I will keep my heart in my mind. And second, I wish all my sister here today, all my brother today, take that for example. We can be the better satsangis. Only question I want to ask Master, why do we have nice, good, heart persons be suffering more in the earth?
Suffering?
Suffer, yes.
Suffer more? How do you know we suffer more than others?
Because it's very hard for us. It's very hard for us. I see myself because I'm feeling with the love.
This suffering is of separation?
I think that's it. It's still in the world, in human being nature in the world. Sometimes you don't receive what you give. And you suffer for that, not receive what you give.
In what way we are suffering? So Sangeet,
Well, I said the love what we're trying to give to the other. And we don't see the same love.
And who is giving us this love?
Master.
And whom you are giving it back?
I give it to my master.
Then what is the problem?
Well, I like to be sharing with my sister and my brother.
Yes.
That love.
Yes. Christ said, love one another.
Exactly. Still some more satsang, we don't practice that.
You see, there are two things. First, fundamental principle we ignore. Christ said, love thy father with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy body. Second comes, love thy neighbor as thyself. We jump to the second and we ignore the first. Second will only come after the first. If you love the Lord with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy body, then only you will be able to see the Lord within every one of us. Then you love thy neighbor as yourself.
Well, that's I try to practice, Master. Because I love Lord, I love my Master. When I see my sister and brother, I see my Master, I live the Lord.
That is the main thing. You see, first thing has to be first accomplished. Guru Nanak says the same theme in a very different way. He says, Har mandar e shareer hai. Your body is the temple of the God. He says, once you have achieved that, then the whole world becomes a temple of God for you. Once you see the Lord within, you will see Lord everywhere in this creation. So we will see that Lord in every one of us.
That's my believing, Master.
And then he tells us another thing. He says, since I see the Lord with every one of us, so naturally I am humble to every one of us. Everyone. Because I am humble to my Father. He is too great. And I am too humble before Him. So automatically I am filled with humility. When I see the Lord in everyone.
Thank you, Master.
That is a real humility, not calculated one.
Master?
Yes.
Master, this is a sister from Portugal.
Yes, please.
Who has this question. Says, I realize that meditation is the most important subject in my life. Every day when I sit down to meditate, I think that perhaps it will be better than yesterday and that progress will be there. But as soon as I begin, my mind dissipates and concentration through Simran doesn't last. Would it be beneficial for my spiritual progress to think of you during concentration? It seems to be the only way I succeed in meditating for more than 1 hour.
She should sit in meditation without any expectation, without any excitement.
Should I translate?
Please do.
She says that this feeling that she has when she thinks of you is something very profound. That it's not so much thinking of you, but it's a feeling, maybe like the pulling you were talking about yesterday, that makes us sit. Perhaps it's that she feels that Simran stops this pull. Should she continue with Simran or should she let this pull?
Better to do
concentrate.
Simran. Better to divert the pull within.
And do Simran.
And do Simran.
Okay, thank you.